What's up, boys? Today's October 28th, 2025. We're doing another advice type of video. No trades today. Um, Price action was just very choppy. Tomorrow is FOMC, so we'll see if we'll get any sort of reaction after that, or maybe, get some volatility prior to that. I don't really think so, but we'll see. Um, if my entry model does present itself, price action isn't pure buns, then maybe I'll take something, but we'll see. So today's advice or today's topic, I would say, is things I knew or I wish I knew before I started day trading. What does that mean? We'll start with our first point. So, just a background, when I first started day trading, I thought I just needed a strategy, learn that strategy like ASAP, and then boom, that's how you make money. Just start printing money every single day. That's what I first thought when I was first introduced just day trading in general. I was like, oh, okay, I can get a Top Step account and I can just make 200 bucks a day, and then boom, I'm making money. Like, I barely even understood the concept of an evaluation. So that's the first step. You have this certain perception of trading when you first start, and it's all kind of like the Dunning-Kruger effect. I would say look into that, but it's all false. None of that is true. Everything that you perceive of trading when you first start, it's probably the opposite, I would say. But after trial and error, when I first started, I realized it's not just about the strategy itself, it's about the psychology, the mindset, the discipline, and your control. So, let's get into it. So, with you guys, I want to share a couple of things I wish I knew before I started day trading, before I had to learn it the hard way, which isn't that bad compared to many people, but I would still deter from, going through that. But maybe it did end up helping me because now I'm speaking to you guys. All right, so point one, consistency isn't built overnight. Everyone thinks that you're just gonna start trading and then boom, you have green days every single day. You're not gonna lose, and even if you do lose, your wins are gonna outweigh your losses when you first start. Most of the time, especially if you just go straight to an evaluation and barely back test, barely paper trade, you're probably gonna fail. You're probably not gonna know what you're doing. You're not gonna have any sort of concept of psychology, mindset, control, all these things I listed. That probably doesn't exist at that current moment. So yeah, trading doesn't come from just a few green days. It doesn't. It comes from showing up every day and just not giving up, not quitting. And that doesn't mean you have to take a trade every day. What that means is just show up, look at the computer, okay, here's my entry model, price action's looking good. All right, I'm gonna take something. Or look at my computer, price action sucks. Entry model is there, but environment sucks. So I'm just not going to take anything, move on with my day. It's about showing up every day and being consistent within a long term basis. It's not about just 1 week. That's what I hate the most. Like, people are like, oh, okay, let me check out this strategy. And then they check it out, they use it for a week. And if it doesn't work, they're like, all right, screw this. Like, I'm not going to use this. It's not how it works. Trading and your probability and your win rate, it's over years or just it's over at least a year of back testing or just data overall. And trust me, trading is not for the weak. Trading is something that will test your patience more than probably anything you've ever done or executed on. So I would honestly say be prepared because you might lose. You might lose for a while. You might not know what you're doing, and that's okay. But as long as you're patient and you're dedicated and you're consistent on a long term basis, trust me, it's going to pay off. And it paid off to me. And obviously, I hope it continues paying off to me. But I am on a constant and a daily learning phase. Trust me, if you're not patient, the market will teach you to be. Point two, more trades don't mean more profits. Now, what does that mean? When I first started, I used to think, okay, let me take like four trades or let me take this trade and then another and another and another. So I think it's like I don't even have to explain it, but it's just so unhealthy for you because you're just taking and presents itself and you're taking multiple. So kind of put it like this, when you get into day trading, the reason why you want to get into it in the first place, it's to kind of steer away from this 9 to 5, you know, that we're all just trying not to do, or at least people my age. So if you're taking like 10 trades a day, you're essentially just doing a 9 to 5, probably even more stressful. And you taking like any random setup and a lot of setups at the same day, you think you're probably gonna make so much money. you're probably going to just bank. But no, most of the time when something like that occurs, or at least for me when I first started and I thought that it was okay to take like 5 trades a day, what happened to me? I just gave all my profits back. So trust me, over trading really does kill your progress. And it took me a while to kind of realize this, but something I did and I do comprehend now is that taking 1 trade a day, taking one clean, quality setup a day, if it even presents itself, outweighs 10 small C graded setups by like an infinite amount. And I say this honestly, when I implemented that, the moment I stopped taking so many trades a day and just stuck to 1 trade a day, win or loss, my results got so much better. I went from like losing to break even to actually being profitable by just taking 1 trade a day, if it even presented itself. So trust me, it's about quality setups, not taking constant action every single day. One last thing about our second point is if you are experiencing the urge to want to take multiple trades a day, it's called the 30-day challenge. So obviously you have 30 days in a month or just 30 days in general. That's your challenge. Your goal is to take 1 trade a day. 1 trade a day. And that doesn't mean like every day you have to trade, but just take 30 trading days in which you just trade once. And then you see if you were at a loss, if you were break even, or if you were profitable. The moment I committed to that challenge is the moment I became profitable. It's the moment I realized, okay, sometimes less is more. Sometimes it's about taking those quality setups and just being patient and being okay with a loss for the day. Sometimes if you do take a loss, that's fine. Just go on with your day and just most of the time, or let's say if your win rate's like 70%, there's a 70% chance that the next day you're going to take a dub. So why does it matter if you lost today? All right, point number 3, psychology is everything. People think that it's about just trading. That's all it is. Trading, you just execute. No. Like I said last video, 80% of trading is really just you sitting on your hands and making sure you have the right mind. It's not panicking when you're down, not closing your position once you're slightly in drawdown just for price to just hit your TP. It's not forcing a trade when you feel left out. And it's definitely not letting one bad day spiral into just this like revenge trading frenzy. It's not how it should be. Trust me, your mindset will always outweigh and control your results way more than the actual executing part and the strategy part. If you don't have a good mind, you'll probably suck as a trader. Point 4, for our last point, it's kind of similar as point 2, but I think it's a bit different and I think it's very important, is understanding that you don't need to take a trade every single day. Back when I first started, I thought I needed to take a trade every single day. I mean, that's the name, day trading, but no. Like if I didn't, I felt like I was missing out, or if anything, I was just falling behind, which, I mean, that's why we have the concept FOMO. That's why it's such a common thing that most traders, when they first start, that's what they feel. But the truth is, and that many people don't tell you, is some days the market isn't even just worth touching. Sometimes you can honestly tell by like the first 15 to 20 minutes of market open that price action is so bad that's not even worth sitting in front of your computer. Just close it, touch grass, and just do something with your life. I would honestly say that the best traders know most of the time when to just stay out of the market completely. And it's something that I've tried my best to do, and I have definitely improved upon that the last month or so and keep trying to improve upon. But it's identifying the times to trade and the times to just not. Trust me, the days that you decide not to take a trade because market just isn't in your favor right now, those are the days that will genuinely protect your confidence and your capital. And sometimes the best trade is just not taking a trade. So just to wrap it up, if you're starting out, please just take it slow. If anything, paper trade for your first 2-3 weeks. Just learn one setup, protect your capital, be disciplined, and have a psychology that's very intact. Just a reminder, you don't have to master everything right away. Just stay patient, stay consistent, and let the process do its job. So, if this helped you, please subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like. Let me know if you guys have any suggestion. Today's October 28th. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.